The night went by peacefully. I woke up when the morning sun rays warmed the tent. The day promises to be hot, but the morning didn't start with coffee. I'd gotten a flat, right at the end of yesterday, and by morning the tire was completely deflated, so I pulled it off and patched it up. Breakfast was the usual, oatmeal, but this time I wanted to cook it over a campfire instead of the stove. It just tastes better that way. Luckily, the forest was full of firewood. If I find a nice way down to the water today, I'll definitely take a swim. There was water stretching all across the horizon, but my own supply had run out. So, the first thing to do, find a store. Rolled into a village. About 1,500 people live here. Served by several shops. I was hunting for one of them. Still, the streets were empty. It was a Monday. Maybe everyone had gone off to work in the city. Finally found a shop. Stocked up on water. Twice actually, since the first bottle leaked. Also grabbed some sweets for my diabetes. Funny how you have to manage your health through a pack of cookies. After that came a fork in the road. Straight ahead was the highway, but I turned left, where there'd be fewer cars. And here I am, can ride right down the middle if I wanted. If you break down a bike trip into moments, this empty road in solitude is what it all started for. Pure freedom. You can zigzag, mess around, go fast or slow. The breeze on your face, that good kind of strain in your legs, and most importantly, the feeling you're moving somewhere. And that somewhere is bound to be something good. That's the mood I was in, racking up the kilometers. The brakes were just as fitting. Lying back and staring at the blue sky, my thoughts drifted away until the last one left was, man, this is really good. Next stop, the beach. Though first I needed to find a way down. Looked like these guys hadn't figured it out either. When I said beach, I was exaggerating. It was really just a narrow clay strip under a drop-off. But hey, that's just how it goes here. Hoping for an epic swim, I stepped into the water. 20 meters later, it was clear. The only way to get fully under was to lie down. Well, it was not for nothing that I put on my swim trunks. That's just how it goes here. Then the country road ended, and I headed towards the highway. A good swim calls for a good snack. I didn't feel like stopping to cook, so I decided to buy something. Had to turn off the main road and pedal a couple more kilometers to the next village. Bought a couple pies and parked myself on top of a root cellar. No idea what was inside, but I was happily eating on the outside. The sun started to dip and I got back on the highway. Any scenic road is twice as pretty when there are no cars. And so I rode on alone, like pedaling through my own thoughts. I've known these places since I was a kid, but ride a little out of town and they start to look different. Maybe that's the point of trips like this. So home stops being just the backdrop for a while. One last break before the final push. Another half hour, then time to look for a camp spot. I wanted to pitch the tent and get dinner going while it was still light, without even touching the flashlight. Turned off the highway, hunting for somewhere more tucked away. That big bottle of water I'd thought was such a smart buy kept bouncing out on the bumpy road. And not just the bottle. It was getting dark fast. I found myself in the middle of fields, just the road and tall grass. The river was still far off. I decided to head into the field under some trees, away from the road. The mosquitoes here were especially happy to see me, but I hardly complained. Under the trees, the grass was lower, so that's where I'd spend the night. Feel at peace. The day is over, and it seems I've lived it well.